Hi, welcome everyone to this amazing GitLab series, and welcome to Code Comica's YouTube channel. In the last video, we had seen and we had discussed about the home level components and project level features. We had discussed about and we had seen what all dynamic features we have in Community Edition. So, how can we take advantage of each one of the features? And how can we make GitLab more dynamic as per our customization and as per the requirement? And next amazing concept that we are going to discuss is GitLab settings. So GitLab settings are most crucial and important, and it's going to play more vital role on GitLab pipelines and GitLab repositories and GitLab project level, even in GitLab group level. So let's discuss about each settings that are present under settings features. So if I click on this drop down, we have the general and integrations and webhooks and access tokens, repositories, merge requests, CICD, packages and registries, monitor, usage, quotas. So these all settings are more crucial and more important because if you're working on big organization or if you're working as a group, so you might want to do some sort of customization as and repository level or pipeline level or any other customization you would like to do. So most probably you can use these settings to do those customization. So that's why I thought to let's make this separate video for GitLab settings to make clear on this and let not make a confusion between the project settings and the project features and GitLab settings. So let's not waste the time, just directly jumping into the concept. So the first settings we have under the GitLab settings are general settings. So if I click on this general setting, so I will redirect into one page. So GitLab page has been moved, so it is giving some predefined information about the sidebars and all. And the first one is naming topic and avatar. So this general information says about all and related to your project. So what is your project name? And if you want to customize it, you can customize it. And what is the project ID that has been allocated? And if you want to bring some topics to be attached, so you can come up over here, you can search for different topics, so you can integrate those topics into your this repository, and you can make it is more dynamic. And later you can give a project description. Why did you create this project, what is the main purpose of this projects and all. And if you want to keep any avatar for your project, so you can uh, choose this file and you can add any avatar picture for this project. So because while you're working in a project, sometimes you may not find the name, so while you're looking into the avatar, and you can find it and you can choose the repository for your requirements or for your implementation. So that's the reason it's good to keep an avatar specific to the project. And it is giving some ideal size like 192 into 192 pixel, and it should not, the maximum size would be 200 kb, so it should be a 200 kb itself. And next features are visibility, project features and permissions. So if I expand this, like we can see what is the visibility. Already we know that, GitLab repositories can be public and private. Since we have keep this DevSecOps repository as a public, and if you want to customize it, you can keep as a private, and if you want to keep as internal, which comes only on the enterprise versions. And you have the different features to be enabled, like issues and repositories, like view, edit, file on project, so everyone with access. So if you want to view the view and uh, edit the projects, like who would have access, you can provide it, or only project members they can view and edit it. And merge request is the same, like submit changes to the merge upstream. Like if you want to submit the mr, which is a merge request, so how you want to make it is happen. So here, if you want to make it as everyone with access, you can do that. If you don't want to enable this mr to everybody, you can disable it. And it's the same like a fork and git large file storage and CICD. So how you want to build or how you want to give access to someone to create a CICD pipeline. So this is the same way, like, you can take advantage of it. Like, if you want to enable it, and if you enable it, and if you want to disable it, you can do that. So this kind of customizations you can do with the general settings. So these all are about the repository level. And if you have any container registry, if you are keeping your container images into your GitLab, so you can take the advantage of it. So, you know, can have own space to the storage Docker image. So you can give access to everyone, or if you want to give access to only the project member who have access to the only project, they can access it. So it's up to you how you want to provide the access to them. And the next one, analytics. So how we want to give analytics visibility to everyone or specific members. And security compliances, wikis and snippets and package registries, such as if you have published any packages or any kind of things. And it's more about the model experiments, like since you're working on machine learning or AI or generative AI things, so you can give access to model experiment and model registry, and already discuss about the pages and monitors and environments, feature flags, infrastructures and releases. So these all information, these all features, you can customize it. So the reason why I have said GitLab settings are more dynamic and more important to your project, because these many features we have. If you want to give access to everybody, you can give it. If you don't want to give access to the everybody, if you want to give access to the only project member that have access or that have invited, you can customize it with all those settings as per the feature. So this is how you can bring your GitLab repository more dynamic, and you can restrict the access to make changes on particular settings or particular features. So, and if you have done all the changes as per the requirement, and at the end, if you want to enable the email notifications, which means, like, if you have created any pipeline, or if your pipeline gets succeeded or failure, and if you want to get any information or any communication from GitLab to the specific project, so you can enable it or disable it. And, like, we have emoji reactions. If you want to use it, you can use it, in mrs and different kinds of aspects too, you can use it. And one about the potentiality unwanted characters, like, Unicode characters, if you are using it. So if you want to get the warrants about it, you can enable it, this feature. And CICD catalog protection, so it is in beta mode. So if you want to take advantage of, you can take it. Otherwise, it's up to your requirement. So if you have save the changes, all those changes will be saved, and whatever access you have provided, this entire general setting, so accordingly it will act on the particular user or particular group of member on the GitLab project. So this is all about the general settings where we have it. And under general setting, we have different settings also, like badges. If you want to display the badges, you can do that. And service decks, if you want to make a conversation or getting support from the team, or official team, or wherever it may be, so you can take advantage of it. You can customize the email, like you need to specify the smtp host and port number, username and password. Accordingly, it will act for sending all the emails as taking advantage of service desk, which is more into the support or communication channel, we can consider it. And the next one, we have the advanced. So we can take the advantage of housekeeping, export, archive, changing path. So if you want to do any kind of changing path of GitLab repository, you can take advantage of it, and you can, um, let's example, my project is in DevSecOps under Sheikh Mohammed Ghosh. So I would like to move this project into some other folder, or some other group. So what you can do, you can change the path from here, and you can take advantage of this change path. So since it is in gitlab.com Sheikh Byte, this is the user, and then this is DevSecOps is the project. So if you want to do that activity, you can take advantage of this change path, and you can change the path of your current GitLab repository. And transfer project, so we can take advantage of transfer project from one namespace to other namespace. And if you don't want your project to be existed, if you want to delete your project, so you can delete this. You can take advantage of delete project as a feature in general settings. And if you click on this, so it will ask you to write it down the um, repository username along with the uh, repository name. So you need to paste it over here, then only can delete it. So it's up to you, like, how you want to keep it and how you want to customize it. But if you have once have deleted, you can add it to your backend. So that's why it was saying the action deletes shake bytes as a user. DevSecOps is my repository, and everything is this project contains. This is no coming back. So once you have deleted, you don't have options to get it back. So the usually where we do like a revert kind of thing that we regularly do that in git right. So we don't you don't have such a feature here. Once your repository got deleted, so it's deleted completely. It does not have any recycle bin option like Windows. So these all settings all about the general in GitLab, and you can take advantage of it. You can customize it as per the requirement. The next one amazing feature is integrations. So let's example you have a requirement to integrate your GitLab with other modules or other tools or any other libraries or any other open source or enterprise tools. So we can take advantage of this integration, and we have a bunch of integrations are already added, which is Apple Store and Asana, Assembler, and Atlassian, Bamboo, and Bajila and Campfire. Well, we have the Datadog also. Like we can trace your GitLab pipeline logs and everything. So let's click on this Datadog configuration. So Datadog is kind of monitoring tool. So you just need to specify the Datadog site. Already it is predefined. You need to specify the API URL of your Datadog and API key and services, environments, and tags. So if you have specified this information filling in this blank, you can make a conversation between the GitLab and the Datadog. So if you see here, send the CICD pipeline information to Datadog to monitor the job failures and troubleshooting the performance issue. So, as a basic features, GitLab has been providing email notifications saying that if your job passed or failed or whatever information. But if you want to do more customization, if you want to work with a more deep diving into the features, you can send all this CI/CD pipeline information to Datadog. You can visualize your data and as per requirement. So this is how guys you can make integration with the Datadog in between the GitLab, and we have the drone is a CI/CD pipeline and email on push. So external wikis and Google Charts. If you want to send the information into the Google Charts, you can take advantage of it. Just integrate the webhooks and notification settings. That's it. So once you have done, you can take advantage of it. If you don't know how to set up the webhook, so you can click on this link. It will redirect to the page where you can integrate your GitLab with the Google Hangouts. Hangouts were used to call the prior days. Currently it is called by Google Chat. So you can take advantage of this documentation. You can integrate it. So that's all about the integrations. Like you can integrate your GitLab with the different external softwares or tools. So Harbor, oh, this is an amazing tool. Like you can use for storing all your images and get it scanned. You can integrate with the Jenkins, and you can integrate with the TeamCity, which was developed by JetBrains and Utruck, Jazira. So more amazing tool. Like you can track with the issue trackers. You can make it as more dynamic. If any pipeline got failed, you can make it is creating the Jira ticket as automatically. And we have the Telegram, which is configured, and you can send the notifications about your project events and all. So yeah, so it's up to you guys, like how you want to make a integration with your GitLab with other available tools or softwares or whatever it may be. And the next one is webhooks. So webhooks is a concept we can see we can use it for sending the notifications across the web applications in response of group or project. So if you would like to send any kind of email notifications about the projects and as a group, you can use a webhooks as a medium, and you can use this for integration purpose. If you click on this link, it will open integration, and you can take advantage of integrations how you want to send the notifications and all. And so that's about the webhooks. And if I come down, we have the next one is access tokens. So access tokens are more important, and it's widely used in current world, or I can say a current customization of your project, or as per the requirement. On the other hand, we can see, so the main purpose of this project access tokens are like if you want to access your project through the API, not to the UI, which is a user interface. So what you can do, you can create one project access token, and you can specify the scope, what all scope it has, like how you want to give out permissions, or how many permissions you want to like read, write, access, and how it has to read the data. So once you have specified, like GitLab API will be generated. So by specifying GitLab API with along with a access token, so you can access your GitLab through the API itself. You don't need to come in the UI, and you don't need to do the customization. If I see here, if I click on add new token, it is asking for token name. What I will do, I will say that uh, code hyphen token, and you can specify the expiry date of this token. So I will specify as next month. It has to go on expire in June 1st. And what is the role of this one? You want to give a role of guest, reporter, developer, maintainer, owner. So if you're not familiar with these roles, do not worry. I'll bring up with the one session about this GitLab roles and explain you what all differences of GitLab roles and how dynamically they can perform each activity as per their role. The next one, scope. Yeah. So if you want to specify the API access, you can do that. And if you want to specify the read API and create runners, create it proxy, repository, write repository, read registry, write registry, API features. You can enable all these features. Currently, it has been giving only few options for this community edition. We have much more options for enterprise. But yeah, these are basic one, like how you want to read your if you want to make to API to read your repository, you can check on this box. And if you want to write your repository, you can check on this box. So once you create this access token, so it will be created, and for the first time, for sure it have to be copied. Otherwise, it won't reflect in the next refresh of your this page. So I copied it. You can save it on anywhere. And if you want to communicate any other application with the GitLab. So you can use the GitLab API along with this project access token, which is only applicable on this project. So by taking advantage of this project access token, you can do a number of operations on this project only. For sure, for education purpose, let me refresh this page. So this project access token will not be available. So it has been disappear. So that's why when you create the project access token, so you should copy it and you should store at anywhere as per your desire. So next one is repository. So this is a major important. Like we have a bunch of features, how you want to keep gates or keep customization on your repository. The first one is branch default. So how you want to keep it as a default branch. And regularly people keep default branch as a main or develop or any other feature branches or on the name. So if you want to make any branch as a default, you can use it this option. So if you see here, we have the main branch as default. If you want to customize it, you can come up and you can give any branch as default branch, and um, you can auto close the referenced issues on default branch. So you can check on it, and how you want to keep as a branch pattern. Like if you want to create a branch starting with the capital or starting with the lower letter, and if you want to uh, give a branch name like starting with the any task name, or if you're working on story and any other patterns you want to customize it, so you can take advantage of it. And you can just specify the pattern. So once you specify and save the changes, if any other person are coming and if you want to create a branch, so he has to follow this pattern. Otherwise this um, in this repository the branch won't create it unless he follow this pattern. So it's more dynamic if you want to make any restrictions, or if you want to customize, or if you want to make your branches as your desired names or following some standards. So you can take advantage of this pattern. You can specify over here, and accordingly it will create in the future. The next one is branch rules. So like in the branch rules, like if you see here how you want to match and how you want to protect. And if you see here, if I click on add branch rule, and it is saying create protected branch. So if I click on this create protected branch, it is saying, hey, which one do we want to keep as a protected branch, which means you cannot directly push your code into the that particular protected branch, and you cannot directly commit into the particular branch. It's just a protected branch until unless you forcefully post it, it won't get pushed. So who can push it, or who are allowed to push it? So the maintainer itself is allowed to push it. If you want to customize it, you can do that, like developer or maintainers or no one. So if you don't want to messed up with your default branch, so you can keep it as a no one as a feature, and you can make it as a protected. So if you don't want to keep this main as an protected branch, so what you can do, you can unprotect it, so automatically it will unprotect it, and now you can push your changes into that branch. If you see here, it has gone. But if you want to make it as a protect branch, so what you can do, you can select the branch. So this is my main, and who are allowed, so I'm going to keep it as a developers and maintainer, and so allowed to push on the mesh, so I'm specifying no one. I don't want to push them are allowed. So, and I don't want to make it as a force push also. I just press on protect. So what it will happen, it will uh, make it as a taint on particular branch, and no one can't push directly into the particular branch. And if you want to add more branches, you can take advantage of it. You can add it up. So that's about the protect branch and branching rules that we have seen. The next one is protected tags. Like you can protect the tags also, guys. You can add the tag, so if no one can't take advantage of renaming the tags, or adding the replica of the same name while they're creating the tags in the pipeline. And the next one is deploy tokens. So it's allow the access of your packages or repositories registry images, which means, like, the same way how it is used as a project access token, the same way it will act as a deploying a token. So you can make it as access of your packages. So you can add the token, you can specify the name and expiry date and username, and how you want to give a scope, like read and write, and the same way how we have seen in the um project access token. But here it's only for packages and your repositories and registries images, which more into Docker or any container images. So you can take advantage of this deploy token. So you can create the token, and you can enable it while you're accessing through API. And the same way, deploy keys. So we can grant the read and write access to the repositories by specifying the deploy keys. And repository cleanup. So to access this feature, so you need to upgrade to your plan to improve the repositories, like push rules or mirroring or better protected branch. So you can take advantage of, but you need to upgrade your plan from community to enterprise. So until unless you cannot use this feature. So but it is giving the options, like you can select it up and you can use it. So these all settings do really comes under repository. But when it comes to uh, merge request. So since we have been discussing about merge requests, we can raise the MRs and all, but how you can keep some rules on merge requests, how we can make it as customization. So in a merge request, um, we have few of features, but it is saying that, hey, if you want to use the merge request features to be enabled, so you need to upgrade to plan. You can take advantage of it. But yeah, so this is the basic information which is related to merge method. So if you want to commit all the merge, you can do that. If you want to merge commit with the semi-linear history, you can do that. Or if you want to fast forward merge, you can take advantage of it. And we have the more merge options. And if you want to scratch the commits as automatically, you can give it as allow, or you can make it as a do not allow. So it will apply on the GitLab repository level. And merge checks are, if you want to specify any commit message when applying merge session, which means, like, when it is merging from one branch to another branch, so it should has to follow a commit message. So you can specify that commit message over here, and you can um, give the pattern, so accordingly it has to follow that. And if you have any commit message templates, you can follow it, and it's up to requirement. And class commit messages, if you want to mention any title, you can take advantage of it, you can specify it. So this is how we can use the merge request settings, while you are merging your code from one branch to another branch. So how you want to merge it, so by specifying merge commit, or if usually what happens, like, we just only merge the commit, but if you have requirements to merge commit with the semi-linear history, you can take advantage of it. And the next one is the more important, which is the CICD settings. So these settings do apply on the pipeline level. So the first one is general pipeline. So if I expand it, so customize the pipeline configuration. So public pipeline, so allow public access pipeline and job details, which means if you're keeping your repository as a public, so do you want me to give access of pipelines? So if we can keep it as it, if you don't want it, you can just uncheck it. Auto cancel readiness pipeline. So pipelines are new changes, cancels older pipelines or running pipelines or same branch or cancel. Which means like if you're running on the same pipeline two branches, or how you want me to cancel it. So you can auto cancel the pipeline by checking on this checkbox. The next one is prevent outdated deployment jobs. So when deployment job is successful, prevent older deployment jobs are still in pending. So just a basic configuration. So you can, if you want to prevent any outdated or previously a month ago or any year ago ran deployments jobs, you want me to uh, make it as the pending state, or you don't want to do override kind of stuff, so you can take advantage of it. And allow job readers for rollback deployments. Yeah, if you want to make it as a job or retries for rollback deployments, if you're deploying into any blue green or canary or AB or any kind of deployment strategy, if you want to make some different kind of retries on rollback deployment, so you can take use this feature. So you can use a separate cache for protected branches, and you can use it, and you can specify the GitLab configuration file, how you want me to keep it and which path, and you can specify all this path for keeping it up instead of root directory. And Git strategy, so how you want you want it to get the or get fetching the project's information. Do you need to use git clone? So you can use cloning each jobs and cloning it repository, or you can use git fetch and git shallow clone. So it's saying that number of changes to fetch GitLab when clone repository. So how many changes you want to get it? So it is 20, or if you want to increase the numbers, you can take it. And timeout. So job fail if the runs longer than the timeout time, which means like, let's example, you're running a CICD pipeline, and this pipeline has been taking more than 1 hour, and you don't want to exceed that pipeline to be take more than 1 hour, or more than 10 minutes, or more than 15 minutes. It's up to your customization. So after timeout, it has to be failed. So if you want to keep this time as a more dynamic, so you can pass it over here in the CICD settings. So if it is exceeded 1 hour, so automatically it will get failed. But usually the CICD pipeline won't take more than 1 hour. So you can keep it as 15 minutes or 20, or at least half an hour. So you can use these timeout features to uh, get fail of your, or get stop your pipeline automatically when it is reached the specified time. So pipeline status, it's a basic information like pipeline status. You can know it, and pipeline known and unknown features. You can use it. So what all features or what all files had been updated, and how it is getting running on pipeline level. Um, so that's all about the general pipeline information. And if I see, the next one is auto DevOps. So auto DevOps is kind of feature if you want to enable automation, building and testing and deploying by taking care by GitLab itself. So you can enable it, but it's going to be default. If you want to make it, is you can take advantage of it. Otherwise, you can customize it as per your requirement. But it's up to you how you want to build your application. So by following the GitLab strategies, or if you want to customize your pipeline by writing GitLab c.yaml file, you can take advantage of it. So up to your requirement, guys. So how you want to take a auto DevOps enable or not, like automatical building and testing and deploying, best specifying few information. That's it's required. Otherwise, you don't need to worry about it how you want to build it. So GitLab will take care about it. The next one is runner. So since we had discussed about the CSCD pipelines, and we had seen stages and jobs, so these all stages and jobs will run on runners. In other hand, in general term, we can call it as a slaves of the CSCD tool, or in a general case, we call it as a node. We call it as the server. So you can call it as any name. So if you want to run your job, so you should require one runner, or you should require one server. So that's why it is giving option how you want to add a runner into your GitLab repository. So if you come on to this runner, so since we have discussed about the individual project runner, and you can we have discussed about the group runner, which means like you can create or you can use the project runner just specifically into this project. For that configuration, what you have to do, you need to come here and you can click on this. So you can take this registry token, and it is deprecated. So so since we had used it, so it is deprecated. But yeah, you can register your runner if you are using individual servers to be used in your GitLab CICD pipeline. So you can take advantage of this register token. You can copy it. You can uh, make a connection between your GitLab UI into your runner. But if you don't want to do that, so you can click on this new project runner, and you can let the GitLab itself to take the runner, and you can say what is operation and what is containers to be used. You can mention the Docker, and accordingly you can specify the tags of it, and just need to pass this some configurations. So once you click on create runner, it will automatically create, but we need to um, seems to be pay for that. So that's about the GitLab runner. So it's more about running your jobs and stages on runner level, and it's up to you if you want to use the your own your runners. You can use it, or if you want to use any self-hosted runners by GitLab itself, you can use it. And we have the instance that are running on for these projects also, which is like, these runners are available on all groups on projects. So each CSA runs on separate isolated virtual machine, which means like we have some shared runners also. You can take advantage of these runners. You can take the tag, you can integrate into your GitLab CDET YAML file, you can use it. But these shared runners, like, um, it might be some vulnerable, or it's up to you how you want to use the share runners, because these share runners are from the community level. It's not from your organization, it's not from your project or team. So it is from local. So it's kind of up to your risk how you want to use it. If you want to create your own runner, you can make it as available for specific this project. Or if you don't want to use it, or if you're more budget constrained, or if you don't have resources, you can come here, you can take these already shared runners, you can use it. So these runners are free, guys, you don't need to pay for this. But it may be some give a response as delayed, because it has been running on other projects also. Few other projects might have configured as runner. While executing a job, it might give the, or it might take a time to finish the particular jobs. But it's up to your requirement how you wants to use your individual runner or group runner. It's up to your requirement. So this is all about the runners. So we have the bunch of runners are available. And the next one is artifact. So, and if you look into this expand tab, so if you want to keep the artifact for successful jobs, you can keep it. Or if you don't want to keep it up, you don't. You can, uh, just close this button. Automatically, it will collapse. But it's good to keep the artifact for each job, and you can get to know um, what all binary set has been created, or if you're running any one of the job and you would like to get the output.txt file out of the particular job, and you can look into that more dynamically. So in that case, or if you want to generate any var or jar file, so that case you can take advantage of it. And the next one is variables. So this is a more dynamic, guys. So variables are, widely used in GitLab c.yaml file. So if you don't want to use the variables on GitLab c.yaml file, and you want to make it as masked, or you want to make it as a keep secure, so what you can do, you can add variables in the CICD variable section. So if you come here, you can add the variable. So what is a variable name, or if you want to pass it as a file, you can pass it. And what is the environment you want to use it. So we have a production environment, you can use a dev environment, you can, as environment wise, you can segregate these variables. So it's giving wildcard. So if you want to use this wild variable for all the environments, okay, you can take advantage of it. And if you want to protect this variable, which means like while calling this variable, so it won't be reflect, it would be protected, it won't be reflect on the um, you know uh, like it only like you can export the variable on the pipeline running on only on protected branch and tags only. So like, it won't available on other branches. And next one is mask variable. So while running the this variable, or while calling this variable on GitLab c.yaml file log, so it won't be like exposed, it would be masked. And expand variable reference, which one, if you want to make it as a dollar, will be treated to reference the variable, you can do that. And you can give description. So uh, what is the description of this variable, why you're using, and what is the key and value pair, you can specify it. Like if you say that key is a user and value is a password, value is a admin, and you can take as a password as a key, so you can specify it. And the password would be 1234. So once you save this variable, so you can plus an add variable, so it will get add into your uh, this variable session. Let me cancel this. If you see here, it has been added, and it this value you can copy it, and you can use it if you want it. So this is how, if you see here, it has been protected, it has been expanded, and you can copy it, and you can rename it also as per requirement. So these are all about CICD variables, but CICD variables are more dynamic, so you can pass it on runtime. And pipeline trigger token, so if you want to run your pipeline from other external resources, which means from your source code or any other sources, so in that case what you can do, you can take the this pipeline trigger token, so you can add this token, you can give description about it, and let's give a description. So what I can do, test trigger. So I can create a pipeline trigger token. So once I create this pipeline trigger token, it has been created, you can copy it up. So, and if you want to trigger any pipeline in the future from your source code or from any other external sources via CLI and other resources, so you can take a copy of this token, you can configure the this branch and the repository URL, and you can specify the scope, and accordingly you can run the pipeline more dynamically. So in the above, we had seen, like, the another one is access tokens and all those access tokens to access your Git repository. But from the access token, you cannot run the pipeline. But if you want to run the pipeline more dynamically through the CLI or through the code, so we can take advantage of this pipeline trigger token. So deploy freezes, so it's unused, like, it's more about like freezing your period of preventing the unintended releases during the period of time. Like, if you don't want to do any unintended releases per we can call it as the monitoring period or some other place in a technical terminology. So you can take advantage of deploy freezes, so you can freeze all your environment to be not run on the specific uh, like a time zone. So what you can do, you can add the deploy freeze time zone, so when you want to start the freezes and when you want to end it, and what is the cron time for specific you know this freeze zone. So you can freeze as per your comment, specifying end and start date. And token access, like, you can control the CI jobs token, CICD variables, and used API access between the projects. So if you want to manage the CICD variables as accessing to the via CLI or any other API, so you can take advantage of this token access, and you can use it. And secure files, so you can store the secure files by using a pipeline such as Android keys, or if you want to store any sensitive data through pipeline itself, so you can take advantage of the secure file. It seems like a variable, but in a variable you can store variable as well as file, but secure file is only specific to the files that you can add it up, and you can use it as your runtime if you want to call these files get executed on runtime. So these all features are about the GitLab CI/CD settings. And next one is packages and registries. So since we had been discussing about the like storing the packages and uh, artifact and images. So if you want to make it as duplicate as assets, so you can use it. And if you want to clean up, if you want to specify any cleanup policies, you can use it. But these features are related to more into your like artifacts, or we can as a binaries, or you can make all it as a Docker images or any other images that you used, like ML or AI. And next one is monitor. Like, this is amazing feature, guys. Like, and we have discussed this feature into our GitLab home components, like error tracking, alerting, and incidents. So you can take advantage of monitoring. You can track your errors, and if you want to make it alerts, you can create the incidents via alerts. And the next one is usage quota. So this is the more dynamic, so how much quota you are using in terms of your artifact or repository, or how much your repository is taking, or how much repository your code is worth or weighted. It get more information about it. So if you see here, I have been using 68.7 MB. In that, my job artifact size is 68.7 MB, and the next one is just my source code is just 10.3 kilo KIB. And if you have any LFS audios like videos, and if you have any packages, you can, it is specified snippets and wikis, it will give all the information. Even it is giving container registry, which is Docker or any other image registry. So if you have used a Docker image, sorry, kind of a GitLab as a image registry, so it will specify how much storage you are using as per the image. So it is more about the dynamic data that has been showing over here. So that's all about this, all the GitLab settings, guys. Like, it's more important and more useful while you're working with the GitLab settings, and you can customize it as per your requirement, and on the repository level, on the pipeline level, on the merge request, on accessing the external resources, and monitoring part, and accessing, and tokens, and pipeline triggers. We have bunch of settings are available in GitLab. So even in GitLab is in community edition, it is giving these many features. That's why GitLab is more dynamic and widely used in current market. So I'm going to end this session, and thanks for watching. And that's all for today. And as usual, I'm asking, please subscribe to my channel, share this video who are really need to learn the GitLab, and keeping or learning the GitLab, and keeping this GitLab into their curriculum, and working with the GitLab for more dynamic projects to make it enable for pipeline. So we'll meet in the next video. We'll see how we can create the GitLab, how we can integrate the GitLab runners with the GitLab UI and projects, how we can use the dedicated runners for project level. And next, we'll run this some sample projects for Python and Django, or any Flask application, or any other Java application. We'll look into that next section. So until then, thanks for watching. Bye bye. Stay safe.